The views and opinions of the hosts and guests of this program are of their own and not a reflection of Milwaukee Black Media or 1017 The Truth. Good afternoon, Milwaukee. You're tuned in to The Lunch Break on 1017 The Truth, where everything is an option on the menu.
And one thing about me, I'm a tough cookie, but I know what I can't do, and I'm not suffering. All right, I fought my whole life. I'm all right.
Excuse me, Cletus. Hoppo, who this man?
Yeah, I wasn't doing it. So I was like, I'm not paying $1,000 to sleep on somebody's couch.
Grab your lunch, hit send on that email, and get ready for the best hour of your day.
My way of thinking is that the parents do all they can, but once the kids leave out that door, whatever have you, they make their own decisions. I don't care if you're 9 or 99, it's still your decision about the situations that you get involved yourself in.
We talking about taxpaying citizens who look into their taxes. Look into this. We talking about elected officials doing backdoor deals, and somehow she still want to blame immigrants. That's what we talking about right now. We following the money, and you still want to blame black people and immigrants and welfare and all of these things for policies and backdoor deals that put poor people in worse positions.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the 3rd Street Market Hall.
Like you said, they want to pad their pockets, but they need a reason to push things through. And I guess the low-hanging fruit is, okay, well, this is a problem, right? Y'all want to fix the problem, and they just hope nobody looks into it like, wait, when did food trucks become an issue?
Here are your hosts, Ray Nitty and maybe Shannon.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. How are you doing? You are now punched in on your lunch break with your boy Ray Nitty and my homegirl, maybe Shannon. You are tuned in to the award-winning 1017 The Truth, located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, live from the American Family Insurance Studios in the 3rd Street Market Hall. What y'all eating on today, man? Shannon, how you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good. What's up, Ray? How you feeling over there?
I'm feeling excited, man. I'm feeling excited.
Yeah.
I feel like
excitement in the air.
I'm having a good time with the extendo version of the lunch break, so I'm really appreciating that extra time. But tell the people where they can find us at, Shannon.
Yeah, man. Make sure you guys follow the lunch break on Facebook. We've surpassed 500 followers on there. So make sure you guys join the conversation, join our community. Thank you. We're on Facebook at the lunch break. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, join the community. Ray Nitty is across all platforms at Ray Nitty, RayNitti. And make sure you follow myself, maybe Shannon, MaybeshaNnon _ across all platforms as well. And make sure you join in on a conversation today. We're on YouTube right now, live, 101.7 The Truth. Yeah, that's where we at. That's what we doing.
That's where we at. That's what we doing. Join the chat once again. Shouts out to Anita Nicole. She said, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Anita. Thank you for tuning in live on The Truth. Man, the phone number to call, 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. We had an amazing show yesterday, Shannon. We had Barbara Zoe come in with Advanced Peace Week that has some amazing things going on today. What else we talk about yesterday, Shannon?
Man, we covered a lot of ground yesterday.
We did.
We definitely talked about that. We talked about women in the problems we face. Well, Black women specifically in the problems we face with the disparities. And we also got a little into I want to say Nolan Wells. Yep. Nolan Wells. We got into that conversation, and we kind of started to talk about other things that felt oddly similar to his case. So that's kind of where we left off with that.
Man, so today, Shannon, we want to just to give the people a brief rundown of the show today. Once again, don't forget the number to call is 833-212-1017 to join the conversation on the extended lunch break from 12 to 2. So we're going to talk about Nolan Wells some more today, right? Because it was a couple updates, couple things that happened. So we want to talk about that. Then we want to talk about that pattern. We want to go deeper into that pattern and talk about the Kendrick Johnson story, if people aren't familiar with that. I know it's an older story, but we're just showing the comparisons. Then we also want to talk about what transparency looks like in these situations, because, Shannon, it seemed like we have a common thread in these stories, right? Where a group of kids, black kid mysteriously dies, passes away. One of the kids' parents was either a sheriff or somebody high-ranking in the town that also caused these cases to have a quick ending to them, right? And what families feel like is not adequate investigation on these stories. Then you proposed a question, Shannon, based off of all of this. We want to get into should we dictate our kids' friendships? And that's a heavy question. Should we be dictating our kids' friendships based on everything that's going on in the world? And how important is it that we pay attention to their friendships? You talked about this as well, Shannon, when they're going to these private schools and when we think we're putting them in position for a better education and so forth. So those are some of the things we want to talk about, Shannon. What you got on your mind, Shannon, before we get the juices flowing?
Man, I'm excited.
What you eating
I'm excited
on?
to get this going. Man, listen, it's bright and early over here. I had to stop at McDonald's again. I've been trying to meal prep. That's what I've been trying to do. After the meal prep meals ran out, I was like, you know what? The quickest answer to my rumbly tumbly is Mickey D's.
Oh my God. So you meal prep McDonald's?
I'm ashamed of myself. No, I had a real meal prep.
Oh.
But I ran out of meals that were prepped. And I was like, I'm hungry this morning.
I ate all the meals I prepped.
Now.
So how many meals you prepped?
So I bought like a container of 3. You know what I'm saying? At Walmart, the glass Tupperware, because I saw on TikTok the plastic one's gonna kill you and all this and that. So then I got the glass ones. And that only came in a 3-pack. Seriously, I gotta stay off TikTok. So then made things even harder. So I only got 3 glass Tupperware. So I only could meal prep 3. So ran through the 3. Now I'm back at McDonald's, which also gonna kill me.
Listeners, if you want to get Shannon some safe Tupperware so she could prep more than 3 meals, you know, I need to get into a lot of
glass Tupperware.
I need to get into meal prepping more. Man, you
okay,
know what?
Meal prepping, yes, but don't look at the stuff that'll kill you. They'll be like, everything gonna kill you. Don't even cook on the certain pots and pans. I'm like, bro, what am I supposed to do? Don't use the plastic spatula.
You know one thing black people do, Shannon, that bothers me?
What is it?
Is tell each other they getting big. I was walking through the 3rd Street Market Hall. The other day, and I saw Craig Berry. I'm gonna put his name out there.
Dang.
Put his name out there,
not
man.
Not the first and last, right? Because I'm sick of it.
I'm gonna put his name out there, man, because Craig see me. Nitty, what's up? Why? If you don't know Craig on Mr. B's, by the way. I'm telling y'all his business. Craig see me. I was walking into the studio. Craig said, Nitty, you widening out on me, ain't you? I'm like, damn, Craig. Then poked me in my belly, man. I'm like, damn.
Not the belly poked you in the belly.
Gave me the what's that? The toaster strudel. I'm like,
you like poop there.
All right, so I'm gonna drink ginger tea and water for the rest of the week. So yeah, man, that's one thing. Shouts out to Craig Berry, man. Super dope dude, man.
Hey,
but we gonna
screaming.
We gonna tell each other we getting big, man. So. We had some fun. Shannon, I sent you something yesterday. I think Zach got the clip, man. And this has been on my mind.
Yeah.
This has been on my mind. We've been watching the World Cup and everything, and we'll transition into that, right? But roll that beautiful bean footage.
If you felt that special about this place, you would not leave. I'm not asking you to feel special, but don't tell me this. On the day you leave, I gotta buy this crap?
I think he's leaving on as good as a gesture as he can, right? Without burning the fan base and making it feel like I'm done with you guys. I don't want to be a part of this thing anymore. Like, obviously, he requested the trade and he's out of here. Like, I get all that. It's like he's saying thank you to the city, to the fans, to the ownership for taking a chance on him as a player and allowing him to grow and allowing him to essentially become what he is.
And he won't take a chance on the team or the city. He wants a better chance to win a title. This city and team got you a title. It's crap. If you felt that special about this place, you would not leave. I'm not asking you to feel special, but don't tell me this. On the day you leave, I got to buy this crap?
I think he's leaving on it as good as a gesture.
That was ESPN Homer on the Milwaukee ESPN station. So what's your initial thoughts when you see? I have my thoughts, Shannon, right? So when you see this and you hear this, right? This is somebody that's putting this type of energy out over the airwaves in the city of Milwaukee and probably beyond. When you hear this, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? And I have my thoughts.
So, firstly, it reminds me of that clip when Joe Budden was screaming at Lil Yachty, and he like, dude, chill. He was like, what do you want from hip hop? And he was like, I just want to have fun, bro. Like, that's what that reminds me of, because it's like he's spazzing out, and everybody like, dang, bro, he was just trying to say thank you. He got a new job.
Crazy.
Bro. And then it also made me think about, like, I feel like we all feel like that tenderness of like a tough breakup with this, right? A lot of people were making jokes like, man, take your brothers with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people people feeling away, and I get it, but like I like watching this clip, I think he really feeling away. Like, people kind of jokingly feel away. I feel like most of us understand what he gave to this city, what he's done for the city, and they respect and they're happy for the time that we did have with him, but we understand he's human. This is a job, and he has to grow. He's given us a long, long time. Like,
man,
he got to do what he got to do. He got a family, kids, and some more stuff.
All kind of stuff.
You know, all kind of stuff. What's your take, Ray? What you thinking?
Man, so I say this respectfully, right? It's almost like privilege entitlement, folks. It's like Giannis was drafted when he was 18 years old. He was 18 years old, right? Let's think about this. And we say, he said, don't give me this crap the day you leave, and like you don't care about the city and all these things that he said. It's like he was drafted here when he was 18. He's 31 years old now. 31. That's
damn
over 12 years of his life that he gave to Milwaukee.
A big portion.
Yeah, almost half his life.
Half his life in Milwaukee. All the adversity that him and his family had to go through. Him being the first one to get here, then being able to get his parents here, then being able to make a pathway for his brothers to get here. His whole family was here. His wife is from Milwaukee. His kids was born in Milwaukee. His father, he buried his father in Milwaukee. I'm sure Giannis had the resources to bury his father back home or wherever, you know what I'm saying, in Africa, wherever felt
his father was born. Yeah.
Like, his father is buried here. What you think? He's just never gonna come back to Milwaukee? Then we forget, like, throughout his career, look at all the leadership changes that he had to go. Giannis probably had more than 4 coaches in the time that he's been here. I know he had Terry Porter. He had Scott Styles for Coach Bud. Then he had what was the dude after Coach Bud that got let go. Then he had Doc Rip. That's 5 right there. And I know I'm missing a few in between. So, and then you say something like, this city got you a championship. This team got, like, yo, How long has it been before the Bucks had a championship?
Right. Did he look? Did he get us the championship, or did we give him the championship?
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, bro has sacrificed so much and not even to talk about the local contributions that him and his wife made in the city while they were here, from Habitat to Humanity, the diaper mission, to the homeless shelter for teens that they funded that has 40 beds. So it's like people have this sense of entitlement and privilege that they could even speak on these type of things when they ain't even did half the things that him and his family has done for Milwaukee, but want to preach about what is owed. A thank you is owed to him for bringing something dope, some energy in our lifetime that we don't know that we would have ever been able. I had season tickets before Giannis got on the team. It was not fun. Shannon, you go. Am I tripping?
They said they gonna be $15 tickets again. I saw somebody's status. They said them tickets was $10, right? They said
Like,
y'all
come
ready for
on.
the $10 tickets again. Like, times was rough back then. Being a fan wasn't easy before Giannis got there.
Then you like, oh, he's not willing to take a chance on the team. Like, he did. 13 years. How long is the average NBA player playing until?
Yeah. I can guarantee it ain't until LeBron James is, what do you call that, anomaly?
An anomaly.
Like, that's something rare. That's very rare. Like, he spent most of his career in Milwaukee, so that's a chance if I ever heard one.
So it's like,
back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
A great sit-down interview on his YouTube channel after the trade to the Miami Heat, reflecting on
those moments than what other people say about me. I've played only in 2 teams in my life. I've been here 13 years in the team. Prior to the Bucks, I was there for 4 or 5 years. This is where I raised my family. This is where my kids were born. This is mine. This is my home. This is where I built all my memories. This is where I became who I am today. Some people talk to me in the street and they say, Giannis, like, always do what's best for your family and do what's best for you. You've done so much for the city. And I can remember the time where I was when we won the championship, and I've been waiting for this for 30 years. I'm scared, but I'm scared.
About?
I'm scared of change. I'm scared of change. I'm scared that the grass is not always greener. I'm scared of, like, I have things, people love me here, people respect me here, people allow me to be myself here in the city, and I'm scared that I might never find that ever again. But it's something that I wake up every single day, and only when I take my showers at night, and I think I'm like, man, maybe I've waited too long, you know, and I see guys playing deep into the playoffs, and I think I'm like, okay, maybe if I switch teams and I go somewhere else and I have a better opportunity, I can play deep in the playoffs. I can go try to chase another championship because I really want that. And I'm scared that maybe if I don't take that decision, that when I'm going to be 37, 38 years old, hopefully, and I'm retiring, I'm going to say, why you didn't take that?
welcome back to the lunch break on the award-winning Truth 101.7 FM, man. Shouts out to Zach, man, for pulling that up. The coldest producer in the game, too, by the way. Shannon, how you feeling, man? I was getting a little emotional.
Man, I'm feeling good. Nah, for real. Like, cause that's understandable, man. Like, don't nobody want to look up and like have nothing but what ifs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can love a place so much. And it reminds me of people that also move away from the city. AI myself. But like, it's like you can still have love for the city, you can still represent the city, and you can still have deep roots there, and just want to know what else is out there. That's okay. It's okay to explore other options, and you have to acknowledge what he's done. You know what I'm saying? You can't be like, well, you left, you don't care. That's never the truth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, his father's buried here. Like, that's not a small thing. Like, what do you mean? Like,
and that lets me know that the people that make these type of polarizing comments, they didn't follow him. They didn't follow his career. Like I don't think people understood what his father meant to their family, folks. To their family. You feel what I'm saying? For his an African man. And he buried his father in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I remember when we was trying to get his brother O'Philly to come to Bronzeville Festival. Shouts out to the homie O'Philly, man. When we was doing the Afro beats and Caribbean at Bronzeville Festival. Shouts out to all the women Cogs for allowing us to showcase these different cultures in Milwaukee. And, we was on the phone at the time with Thanasis. It was Thanasis, myself, Deshae, and I want to say Ray Hill. And they were and Ophelia was on that call as well. They had one request. Let's do everything that we can to make this right and make our family's name proud. Let's hold our dad's name up in high regards if we gonna put our name on this. And I respected that. It wasn't about themselves. It was about the legacy that they wanted to leave behind and know that, our father's name is attached to this. And his father is buried here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm going to keep saying it for people that just think he walks. And then for some stats, because, we like to go dig in Shannon, the average NBA career lasts approximately 4 to 5 years. In terms of lifespan, NBA players, they said 2/3 of all NBA players are out of the league by the end of their age 28 season. So 27-28 is already the average decline of the athletic abilities of some of these folks.
And some players have been retiring early because they just really wanted the money. And so once they get that bag, they retire so they can save their body, and then they rely on endorsements and everything else. So,
and he gave us 13 years of trials and tribulations of trying to get it right. I got one even better, Shannon. Remember Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? He was a famous Milwaukee Buck. That got us. I
know the name, Ray.
That got us a championship. You feel what I'm saying? Actually, the last championship before Giannis, if I'm not mistaken, right, Zach?
Sure, yeah. And I think he wore 34
think so,
too.
Because I remember, yeah.
Guess why he left the city? He said, this was in Journal Sentinel.
Make a guess, but I'm not going to.
He said in the Journal Sentinel article, Milwaukee was one of the racist places that he's ever been.
Again.
And that was back, 70s? Obviously, we know, right? Then you have, let's fast forward, Peter Fagan, who also stated that Milwaukee is one of the most segregated and racist places he's ever seen.
Damn.
Not much has changed for players and people of this city when it comes down to race and so forth. So this brother came here as a child, 18 years old, left at 31, did so many things, and we got people that's making these terrible comments, in my opinion, for somebody that said he still want to come back. He want to figure out how to come back and end his career in Milwaukee. We got Al. Shouts out to Al. Al, how you feeling? Talk to us. You live on Truth with Ray Nitty and Shannon.
Well, it's Milwaukee. What does it have to offer? Half of y'all ain't going to be here in 6 months to a year to let the truth be told. It's Milwaukee. What does it got to offer? Your black people, they like old Negro spirituals. There ain't too many of them gonna speak up, and they don't want to make white people feel uncomfortable. Then you got the racist people still acting like they living in caves, and the only time they know how to talk is when about Christianity, when they trying to get a 13-year-old boy to use his mouth as a glory hole. What do Milwaukee got to offer? A bunch of racist people who want to be black who saying you trying to take something of them that they going to feel at anyway that you don't even want to be because all of them is doped up, coked up, on bad fentanyl and walking around here in the spectrum. It's Milwaukee.
And it's the worst place to raise black kids, they said, Al. And they say it's the worst place to raise black kids. That's what we offering people.
Well, it depends. Well, that depends on how you raise your kids. But see, the real problem is here in Milwaukee, black people don't want to give white man his God back. Okay, because if you give the white man his God back, you won't go by his finale. You won't go by his how he thinks. Think about it. Majority of the people in the Bible was pedophiles. Who married a 12 and 13-year-old girl? The boys and girls that have intercourse, kill them, but keep the virgins for yourself. That color purple stuff. He died on top of me. It's Milwaukee. What you expect?
Al, you just said something.
Come on, Al.
Sometimes when you're right, Al. Sometimes when you're right, when you're right. If you know if I got to push back, I'm going to push back. So, no, I agree with you.
It's Milwaukee.
I agree with you,
That's
right?
all I can tell you. What black politician will want? What black politician? I mean, all of them will make you want to be here because you see the fire in them. Hell, they don't want to talk near. Hell, they don't want to make NASA upset.
You know who I saw a lot of fire in? That was a black politician. Who? Lena Taylor, Senator Lena Taylor. She's a judge now.
Yeah, but you got to understand, half of the people wouldn't vote for Lena Taylor, but will call her for help. Just like some of y'all relatives, they want you to come to the battle, but then when you need them, I can't do nothing. But they'll go right around to the person that broke in your house and bought your washer and dryer for $10. But the person, I can't vote for them. They gonna make us look bad. But that white man, he gonna F you all in your mouth, all in your behind. Right. He gonna come in and poop all on your floor, and that's the one they gonna be trying to be nice to. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Al gonna always gonna put some tahini at the end of the.
He's doing so well.
He's doing a great job. He's doing a great job.
Said, and by the way,
right. But
one more thing.
When you right, you right, man. When you right, you right. I feel like you said something that's another topic though.
Ray gonna get us canceled. Let's not go there, Ray.
We gonna say that for another show. But it is something to talk about. You know, it's
something to talk about.
We will have this conversation when we can have.
It's crazy because I know what you're talking about.
You know.
I know what he's talking about.
Is it time to give back the religion that was given to us? But that's not today's. That's not today's show.
Today.
That's not today's show.
Don't get me on my Erica Kirk just smug and hold him across.
Oh,
man.
You see, it works for her.
How much time we got before break, Zach?
Now.
You know what? We need to get about it now.
She said the name. We gotta go.
We gotta go.
All right. We'll be back, y'all. Don't go into it. Take a bite of that sandwich. Take a sip. I know it's a lot going on.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
'Cause remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back. You punched in on your lunch break, man. The extendo version with Ray Nitty and maybe Shannon on the award-winning Truth 101.7 FM live from the American Family Insurance Studios. Shannon, they trying to get us to go off topic.
No.
In the name of man, we talking about Giannis. We talking about Giannis. We talking about people feeling entitled that he should have did more and blah blah blah, whatever, right? All that mess. But Bobby Portis is having a final pop-up today, if I'm not mistaken, 3 to 8 p.m. He says, Zach?
Yep, it's at Hype Boys.
At Hype Boys. What's the address for that? That's what? That's like across the street or something.
Yeah, I mean like
Wisconsin Avenue. But man, shouts out to Bobby Portis, man. Shouts out to Giannis. Shouts out to Thanasis. A lot of people like to make jokes, but I don't think they realize how important of a piece Thanasis was for the Bucks team. Just the energy, the good vibes, and just picking everybody up, man.
224 West Wisconsin Avenue.
224 West Wisconsin Avenue for the Hype Boys pop-up. Bobby Portis pop-up at Hype Boys. One last pop-up, man. So, yeah, Shannon, and anything else you got? Because before we go to the caller.
Let's go to the caller. Let the caller kick us off right.
Caller, how you doing? Talk to us.
Of course. I'm doing awesome, Ray, and you're doing real good today, too, in describing a person who just wasn't raised right. Say his name again, the person that was talking about Giannis.
It was Homer.
Yeah, it was Homer on ESPN Milwaukee.
I don't know his last name, but it was Homer from ESPN Milwaukee.
Okay. Yeah, let me get this off. One second.
Yeah, if you could get us off speakerphone as well, caller, just so we could hear you clearly.
Can you hear me better now?
Oh, amazing! A lot better.
Okay. So yes, I was speaking of Homer as a person who wasn't raised right, and that's prevalent in his culture because they're not taught true history; they're taught his story. And speaking of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I want to ask all you all to take your phones out right now and type in Heroes of the Revolutionary War, which is a documentary produced by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who is probably one of the top 3 basketball players who ever lived, who was a prodigy like Tiger Woods was. They knew he was going to the NBA when he was in 6th grade. He was practicing with Wilt Chamberlain when he was in middle school. And just like with Giannis, Milwaukee was lucky enough to have him. So when you hear somebody like Homer who acts like Giannis or Kareem or any person who gives what an athlete gives to become that great of an athlete, anybody who plays team sports, even on a high school level, knows that it takes a lot to become a good high school athlete. So when you hear them having a problem with people like Jaylen Brown being highly intelligent or too intelligent for basketball, I heard Colin Coward last week say that Jaylen Brown, for example, had a disease of thinking he's the smartest person in the room when this man is a person who went to Harvard, MIT, and in most scenarios he was and is the most intelligent person. But because he's black, that's a problem. So it's blatant racism, immaturity, and foolishness to think that you have anything to say about what Giannis's feelings were and are about Milwaukee. And when you talked about his father being buried here, and I wanted to bring up how even though he lived here most of his life, every summer he went back to Greece, right, to play for his team in the Greek Olympic team. So he's a person, once he's connected, unlike some people, once he's connected, he has loyalty. The loyalty that black people have had for a country for 250 years, 400 years, where that does not have the loyalty to us. So when you're not raised right, you don't understand the true patriotism that even someone, Giannis, who is a quote unquote immigrant, has more patriotism and loyalty than Homer, because they only love the benefits of what it is to be an American. Where the rest of us who built this, we love everything that it took to make this country. And anybody who's foolish enough to think that a person who scores 50 points in a closeout game and averages 40 points in a NBA Finals was given anything by a city is an idiot and should not be credible or even have a job talking about sports.
Yeesh. Caller, you man, you saying what needs to be said.
Let him cook.
You saying what needs to be said, man. If you got something else to say, I'd love for you to say it. But
get that man the mic.
Right. Let's get him a chair. But we appreciate you, the caller. We definitely appreciate all of that energy and knowledge that you shared. And we'll definitely check out that Heroes of the Revolution. He said it was produced by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So yeah, man, I think he wrapped it up real nice for us, Shannon. What do you think?
Man, I definitely think he did. He did a great job of explaining how to even think, like, they almost treated or sounded like they felt like it was just a money grab to Giannis. Like, oh, well, if you
Right.
love this place so much, you wouldn't just grab the money and go, when it's clearly not that. Like, all of the proof, all of the facts, like you said, we love to do some digging and come with the facts. All of that shows somebody that genuinely did love this city and does have love for this city, gave all he could to this city. I mean, he played past his prime for this city before he made the decision. What else is out there?
100%. And then go ahead, Shannon. I'm sorry.
It's just not valid to say those types of things about somebody. And like I said before, people joke about, what if he leaving this and this and that, because it's like a breakup. It's a heartbreak for a lot of us. But
Yeah.
to like stand on something and be so serious about it, it's like, okay, dude, now you forcing it. And it almost gives off that energy of shut up and dribble. Like you hear
exactly.
a lot about. And
Bro, chill. We had to get the Lil Yachty hotkey for dog. Yeah, bro was tripping. You was tripping, Homer. You was tripping. Not blow, by the way. But not blow, by the way.
Homer.
He was tripping, man.
No,
he was tripping, Shannon. It was one thing that I did want to say. Oh, and we also act like he said something in the clip that Zach played, right? Not the when he was talking with
Jim.
When he was talking with Jim. And he said, change is scary. He doesn't know if the grass is greener on the other side, right? But we got to remember the situation that he was in. We had no picks. We had no team. We didn't have picks till damn near 2028, 2030, something like that. So we couldn't put anything else around him. We took the risk with Dame Lillard. We still got to pay Dame $22 million this year. So we did what we can, and we took risk, and it didn't work out. It was certain risks that I think that we should have took, maybe getting rid of Chris Middleton a little earlier. But I'm not a GM. I'm not a professional. But what I am is human, and I know that Giannis and his family has a lot of love for this city, and I'm willing to bet that they will still be very, very impactful to the city of Milwaukee. And make sure y'all check out his mom's song too. His mom got a dope gospel record out. We'll probably close with that because some of these people need prayer here. Shannon, when we come back, we're gonna get into the Nolan Wells story. We got a couple updates. They secured some new representation, and we just want to make a couple comparisons. And I want to get your thoughts on that, Shannon, when we come back. Don't go anywhere. You are listening to Ray Nitty and maybe Shannon on the award-winning Truth 101.7 FM.
The African American Roundtable, black-led organization on Milwaukee's far northwest side, has launched a safety campaign rooted in the basic need of food access. It's called Feed the Change MKE. Through community engagement, AART learned that easy access to and education about locally sourced and fresh food would help people feel healthier and safer. Also, local food providers need to learn how to engage the community, build awareness, and stay in our community long-term. So Feed the Change MKE encourages people to know, grow, prepare, and share food, especially from community-owned.
We had a chance to talk about it a little bit yesterday because we had a full show. The number to call, 833-212-1017. Once again, the number to call is 833-212-1017. Shouts out to everybody in the chat. Shouts out to everybody on the YouTube chat. If you want to text as well, you can definitely text that number, 833-212-1017, and we'll make sure we read your comments or concerns or questions that you have. But quick update, right? We talked about it. So as you heard in that clip Zach played, I didn't even know Zach was going to pull that up, but appreciate him for always being on top of things. So Tuesday, 2 p.m., Jackson County Coroner, like as they said, they identified the body via dental records. The family retained Ben Crump, so now it's going to be even more highly polarizing case. Team will conduct an independent review and press for timely release of all records, witness accounts, and autopsy findings. This is now a national civil rights story. The autopsy was performed Tuesday at the MS State Medical Examiner Coast Lab, but results, including toxicology reports, that still could take a couple weeks. Cause and manner of death is still not released. Investigators told ABC News they suspected drowning, and officials say circumstances appear consistent with accidental drowning. But the investigation remains open and nothing is ruled. Sheriff Ledbetter told Good Morning America, from what we understood, he chose to stay there. The official account of why the boat left without him. That's what they're saying. The friends said they believe he'd caught another ride. There's no indications of right now of drug or alcohol use so far, per the sheriff. No arrest has been made. No foul play findings. Yeah, man. I think what's your thoughts, Shannon?
I think.
What you thinking?
I think a lot of things, Ray. I think a lot of things. No matter how these results come back, which we know in a lot of these situations, a lot of the parents have like connections to kind of get answers to go kind of in their favor, right? But what I will think, or what I will speak on is, as a friend, you would never leave your friend behind on an island where you need a boat to get to. Right? Like, oh, he's gonna find his way back. Like, it's as easy as hitching a ride. Bruh. Right? And then like there's been reports that as soon as they got back, I think 2 of the 3 teens have lawyered up already. And then you have them deleting their social media profiles. That doesn't sound like somebody that is not guilty of something. If my friend went missing, I would be posting. I wouldn't have left that island. I'd be back on the island. We'd be looking for this friend. But you got home, you lawyered up, you deleted your social media. And then I feel like look, the cases are starting to blur together so much. Like, and it's always the same story. Well, we didn't really even know him like that. And, let me grab a lawyer. And then that's the last you hear of it. And then it's like it comes out like the kids are, parents are high ranking members of society, and things just go in their favor. And we hear these stories time and time again. And it's just a sad story to hear, especially when you see it's a young Black man and in the friend group that he was in. And I feel like I said yesterday, most Black people saw that picture of the friends he was with, and your ears go up. You like, oh, we know this story all too well. And I think a lot of us are sick of hearing the story. It's 2026 and we're still fighting the same fight. I know we talked about Kendrick Johnson. And for those of you that aren't already fired up, look that story up. That's sure to piss you off a little bit. But it's just like we get tired of being told. And then like a lot of times people love to, oh, why it's always about race? Because it is. Sadly, we tired of it too. We tired of it too. So there's that. But yeah, like I said, it's just one of them things where you get tired of hearing the same story time and time again. You get tired of the same old excuses time and time again. And you also get tired of justice just not being served. And you also like, you know what the double standard looks like. If there was 3 black boys and 1 white boy that went missing, even though it's not a known thing to happen in those situations, people would quickly be like, oh, they robbed them. They did something to them. It would be such a different type of like the way the news would be covering it. Them kids would have been in jail ASAP. Like there would be no time to even like lawyer up. They would have been, listen, by the time they got off that boat, they would have been in jail. They would have went from the boat to jail.
You're not going nowhere.
And it ain't, you ain't going nowhere before we find, you're going to jail. And it ain't gonna be no time to figure out what happened. Ain't no interviews. Ain't no
hold you for
lawyering up.
the longest that they could hold you, to question you, and smoke you out. We had a couple text messages, Shannon. Somebody said, I think it's Al, says, good afternoon, welcome back. It's hour 2, man. Got some extra lunch today, man. Shannon, how you feeling?
Get a little dessert. Get a little dessert on the side of this lunch. Hello.
That sounded crazy, but we'll allow it.
You do.
Get ready.
Don't get smart.
1017 The Truth Family Fest is back. Join us Saturday, August 22nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Riverside University High School for free back-to-school resources, live entertainment, family activities, and community fun. Vendors and sponsors can reserve a spot by emailing Sierra Brown at MilwaukeeBlackMedia.com. That is CIERRA.Brown at MilwaukeeBlackMedia.com. Proudly sponsored by Educators Credit Union, American Family Insurance, and Milwaukee Public Schools in Ascension. How was that, Shannon? Was that all right?
Yeah, you ate that up.
Did I sound like a? Did I sound literate?
You sound you could read. You could read, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I got a funny story about reading real quick. So one of my homegirls like years ago, she told me this is horrible actually. She said she went to like an old folks home to read to the people, and like this white woman that must have dementia yelled out, when did they teach N-words to read?
Damn.
They forget everything else but racism. A study gotta be.
When did they teach you Negroes to read?
She was.
We're just doing anything
like,
in this country. They want to leave and go play basketball elsewhere. We've given them so much.
I don't know why.
Can he even read his checks?
Read.
You need to read. Shannon, you know we don't got no sense, man.
That's what we get.
Yep.
Freezing up now.
That's what we
exactly
get.
What we get.
That's the universe. Like, all right, y'all want to talk about religion and what need to be given back? Don't go anywhere.
They like ask for this mic back.
Shouts out to the chat, man. Jasmine, what's happening? Jasmine Jazz West, Milwaukee Amanda. Not no other Amanda, the Milwaukee Amanda. What's up? GTJ, what's happening? Shouts out to everybody in the chat. Somebody texted and said, we leave together wherever you go. I bet the white girlfriend came home. Says, if it was a drowning, why was all the kids Why all the kids get attorney ASAP? That's an amazing question. That's an amazing question.
And how
right?
did nobody see him if it's an island that everybody was partying on July 4th?
Come on now.
There's this random drowning and nobody saw nothing.
And mind you, there's a video of them arguing on the beach.
Yeah, I did hear that there was some video of an argument that ensued. And it sounded just allegedly. The views and opinions is made on this show is not directly reflect the views and opinions of Truth 101.7 FM. But allegedly, it looks like there was an argument that ensued, and sounded like allegedly it was because of the white girlfriend, I'm assuming, that somebody texted in is referring to, was having a conversation with the superstar Nolan. And I'm just assuming maybe the privilege didn't like how the conversation was going. I don't know.
And then from that, and from the video that we referencing, it looks like everybody on the island was like shifting their focus towards this argument. So you would think this argument would be like something that came up multiple times, because already they came out and was like, everything looks like it's pointing to an accident. Everything pointing towards an accident drowning. So it's like, so how can you come to that conclusion so fast?
How?
When you know there's other things that happen and other things that are super suspicious. And like you mentioned before the break, his phone made it back.
How?
But he didn't?
How?
Bruh.
Which 18-year-old, don't got their phone plastered to their bodies?
Wait, who brought the phone back?
It was on the boat. The boat that the friends took back, his phone was on the boat. So,
and if my friend
were they
is
on the
saying,
way
I'm
back
gonna
and
stay
pushed
here
them
on
off
this
the boat?
secluded island. Exactly. And if my friend is like, I'm gonna stay on a secluded island, I'm gonna be like, do you have your phone? If in some world I thought that was normal, because I don't even see a world where I would leave my friend. Like, girl, you coming with me? What are we talking about?
Well, if
you're not staying on this island. But ever in for some reason, I just was like, you know what? You're right. You know this person, you know this group of people or whatever. This your cousin. I don't know. But you're gonna have your phone. I'm gonna have a way to contact you. I'm also gonna call your mama. Look, mom, she's you know.
Don't go anywhere, Shannon. Don't go anywhere. Hey, somebody grab Shannon. They don't like when we get too real. Shannon, you back?
I'm back.
All right.
I'm back. But yeah, you just do what you can to make sure your friend is safe and make sure they have what they need, and that you cover you cover your behind. You know what I'm saying? Like you call they people, tell somebody, Shannon says she's staying with her cousin, whoever she said she know on this island.
100%.
For real, because y'all not gonna come looking for me when they don't come home.
Yeah.
Like
I don't even care if my friend is like, this my cousin, I know them. I'm like, okay, well, listen, do you have your phone? You got your keys? What's your location? Send me your location, because I don't know these people.
How? Like, first of all, it ain't like we talking about catching an Uber, fam. We talking about a boat. You don't just call a boat, right? Like yo, I'm gonna need my phone.
Can't call a hella ferry.
You feel what I'm saying? Bruh. So it doesn't make sense. The stories doesn't line up. You leave your friend because you thought he was gonna you assumed he was gonna get another ride. Why would said friend allow y'all to leave, saying he had another ride and just forgot his phone after this argument that allegedly happened? I got to look for that video once after today, because I'd like to see what that argument looked like. That sound.
And
Go
I
ahead,
said,
Shannon.
it looked like it was loud enough to shift the like whole, like everybody that was on that island was facing.
Start paying
what was
attention
happening.
now.
You know what
Everybody's
I'm
alert.
saying? So it's like everybody's alert, and he clearly was like the only black person in the water. So you know what I mean? It's just something's not sitting right about this situation, and it's extremely sad to see it just play out.
Somebody
the way
got
it's
some more
playing
footage
out.
out there.
Yep.
Somebody got
And
some more
somebody
footage.
knows something.
We live in a world where everybody just pull their phones out right away, record everything. That's why it was a recording of said argument.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe somebody asked the question, why would kids lawyer up right away if they just assumed that their friend was catching another boat? Black people in boats don't do well, man. We got to stop trusting white people in boats. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not represent the views and opinions of Truth 101.7 FM.
A lot of people have brought up another viral TikTok video, like I brought up yesterday. It was like a couple and their kids boating. And I've sent that to you guys as well, where like a kid was like in a secluded space saying, I cannot swim. Y'all gonna kill me. And they're like, you retard, you da-da-da-da, like just saying all this disparaging stuff about him. But they're his friends. Tell him just jump in. He like, I cannot swim. I'm gonna drown. So like a lot of people are bringing that up. Like, had them people not been there at that time and not like taking what was going on seriously, that little boy would have been dead, and they would have went back to wherever they came from. Like he just jumped in and drowned. We don't know what happened to Timmy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like we really do have to pay attention to our surroundings and who we're going places with. And I got other comments, but we I'm gonna leave that off the air. Don't stay focused.
Say them.
I was gonna go. Look, you said we gotta stop trusting certain people in boats, but in secluded spaces. Because I stumbled onto a part of TikTok that said it's very very prompt. Like it's a group of women that have come forward and said that I can't remember the exact words for it, but their boyfriend or significant other, they will take you on a hike because they know you aren't as good of a hiker as them.
I've heard of
and
this.
They will abandon you. Like, it's so prominent. It happens so often that there's a group. There was literally just a trial that happened, wrapped up probably a few months ago. This man took his wife on a hike and tried to push her off a cliff. Yes.
And stabbed her with
didn't go, he beat her. Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. What do they call it? They call it the Alpine honeymoons or something like that.
Yes.
Alpine honeymoons or something like that, right? Yes, Shannon, you 1,000% right.
People have a history of taking people in places where they know they will not survive it and just, living out certain fantasies or certain and leaving them. Whether that's your husband or your friend, but they know it'll be hard to prove this was done purposely. So much so, like I said, that there's a group. So
yeah, they call it like that. I think it's called the Alpine honeymoon or something. But it was a doctor, him and his wife. Yep, and he wanted to be done with his relationship, and he tried to push her off the cliff. And once she didn't pass away, he tried to sedate her too. So he had like a syringe with like I don't know what concoction he put together in there. But then once she didn't die, he was beating her with a rock.
And just so happened a woman passed by.
Just so happened somebody passed by. 100%. Alpine divorce, not honeymoon. That's what she said. The honeymoon
Far
would be a good thing, right? I guess so. The Alpine divorce. So that's why I tell them, man, I ain't going bungee jumping and zip lining with you no more. I've been irritated.
Don't do her. But yeah, that is so much so that there's a group, and like it's happened multiple times, and it's just very hard to prove. Like it even, I think more recently, I can't remember where this happened, but a woman, he got off because he called for help, then he turned the phone off. So when they tried to call back, they couldn't get through. And when they found her body, it looked like she had suffered, like she had been there, like she was alive and suffered. And then they were like, you're an experienced hiker, so she didn't even have the right stuff on. Like, and you knew this. And they hike you to a place where they know you can't get back from, where you'll be confused. Like when you see these forests or these trails or these hike paths or whatever, it's confusing. And if you don't know your stuff, you will die. You will be left there and you will die.
100%.
And they'll just straight up leave you.
100%.
And the dude that got off, he had done that to a woman before in the past, and she so happened to make it home. But I gotta find the case in, but yeah, on it because we can't prove it.
Right. And Amanda said, thank goodness he confessed to his son on FaceTime. And the son is who told the truth on the stand. That's crazy. That's crazy. And then
Because
you brought
it's too easy for them to get away with it.
Because it's too easy to get away with it, especially when you got the complexion for the protection.
Hello.
That's all I'm saying, man. Privilege is one hell of a drug. You brought something up, Shannon, before we go to break. You brought up the other black teen comparison that was in that water, right? And you had highlighted at the end even what the family that went over and helped the boy get to shore. They was like, his friends are a-holes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you hear them saying, we have 2 life jackets, but you didn't leave one with him. You told him to jump in without the life jacket, and then what, you was going to take it to him? So it's almost like they be wanting, I don't know.
Put you in messed up to see how it play out. And then like.
For their entertainment at that. Because that's funny to them. Knowing a lot of us can't swim. Can you swim, Shannon?
Absolutely not.
All right. We got to get you some lessons, Shannon. Because we know you got some friend groups.
Just know I ain't even the type. I put my toes in and that's it. So if I end up like she tried to swim, that's a lie.
I said we know Shannon ain't trying to swim nowhere. Man, don't go anywhere, y'all. Go have a sip, man. Pour up some ginger beer. Some that I know it's a lot today. We talking about our surroundings and our kids and their friend groups. Should we be dictating the friends that our kids are hanging with, especially when we try to put them in different educational positions that is supposed to brighten their future, but it just kind of brightened their surroundings with different friend groups. Don't go anywhere, y'all. We are live on the lunch break, the extended version on Truth 101.7 FM.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant.
Around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
And I'm just a wild child, and I just don't need another baby, but I want to talk to you.
Whoa. Welcome back to The Truth, 101.7 FM, 101.7 FM. Ray Nitty and maybe Shannon, this is the lunch break. We now from 12 to 2, y'all. If you was wondering, that beat slapping, Zach. Put that in the favorites. Put that in the favorites folder. We gonna get Shannon to spit over that one of these days.
Hey, I got some deep things to say.
It ain't Tuesday, but I'm feeling talented. But I'm
feeling talented.
But yeah, Shannon. So just to put a button, and we'll keep everybody updated with the Nolan Wells story. You know, just to highlight some things. The story exploded nationally because, in our opinion, this one hit a nerve, right? Millions of black parents recognize their own child on that boat. Where it's like, all right, you know, we worry about our kids. We worry about the friends that they hang around. We worry about, are they going to make it home safe? We already got to worry about them making it home safe in our own communities. Now we got to worry about them making it home safe, visiting other communities that we know that historically has shown us that their elders and forefathers have felt a certain way about us. So now we got to deal with that. So what does Crump involvement do? It changes, we now have an independent review. They got public pressure. And, he was part of the George Floyd, the Arbery, the Taylor. He helped all of those families. And they have this 2-week toxicology window. This is where the stories either get answered or go cold. So we need to follow this. We need to follow it, Shannon, as we pivot to Kendrick Johnson. Another similar story. This one was a little bit further back, right? This one is a little bit further back in Valdosta, Georgia. Oh, comparison, right? We said kids lawyered up quick. And maybe we said this and we didn't reiterate it. But allegedly, one of the kids that has lawyered up, their mother is a judge in said city, if I'm not mistaken. So that's allegedly part of the thing. So we have a pattern. We have a pattern of these things consistently happen. Now as we pivot to Kendrick Johnson, yesterday we talked about Alonzo Brooks, Kawan Charles, Tamia Horsford, Michaela Miller, and I think Tamla was the black woman that was at another friend party where they was all just hanging out, drinking with a bunch of other white women, and she just showed up dead in the backyard. Nobody knows what happened to her. You had a girls' night, sleepover.
It was like a sleepover.
Yeah. So, here go another story. January 11th, Shannon, 2013. Kendrick Johnson, 17, found dead, upside down in a vertical rolled gym mat at Lowndes High School. I don't know how to say that. How you say that? Lowndes. I just was doing all that ranting and raving about being able to read letters. But official ruling.
You proved you could read earlier. You
Right.
ain't gotta care no more.
Right. These strange words. No.
You need to read.
Zach quick with it. Official ruling. Accidental positional asphyxia. The state's finding was that he climbed into the mat, reaching for a shoe, and became trapped. That's how they said this boy died. The family's independent autopsy found at school, fam. Put away, not just like. As we continue, Shannon, the family independent autopsy found blunt force trauma to the back of the neck and called the death non-accidental. Don't sound accidental to me. If you're reaching for a shoe, what the hell happened to the back of your neck? If you just was climbing into a padded mat.
And who would climb into a mat instead of unroll said mat for your shoe?
Come on now. Head first. Head first.
How do you get to the top of the mat? How do you get to the top of the mat? Without it falling over, it's a mat.
Come on now. When they did the autopsy, Shannon, when his body was exhumed for the second autopsy, not the first one, his internal organs was missing. The body had been filled with newspaper. They stuffed his body with newspaper, Shannon.
And took his organs.
And you have the state and the funeral home pointing the finger at each other. No one was ever held accountable for that either.
Because everybody blaming everybody. I don't know who did it. He did it. I don't know who did it. He did it.
Federal investigation 2013 to 2016, Department of Justice / U.S. Attorney's Office closed it, citing insufficient evidence to prove a civil rights violation, not a declaration of innocence, a statement about provability. 2021, it reopened, closed again January 2022. It concluded no foul play. The family has never accepted the ruling. Keep in mind, if I'm not mistaken, he had got into it with one of those white kids too at the school that they were questioning.
Yep.
Harrell Martin.
Over a girl or something like that.
I can't remember what it was about, but if I'm not mistaken, wasn't the dad some sort of sheriff or something in that town?
Yep.
It's always these small towns. These small, weird towns.
Where people got a little too much pull than what they should have. Where people too willing to be complicit in murder. Or where everybody want to point the finger at somebody else. Nobody want to be like, listen, this is what happened. Everybody too scared to really speak up and say what really happened. You got the funeral home and pointing fingers and like, what do you mean?
We got the body from your spot and you pointing the fingers at the state and said they put the newspaper in his body.
And then it begs the question, why did y'all take his organs?
Who got him?
Who got his organs?
They not going.
What is going on here?
That's right, not really a city girl. We are talking about the Kendrick Johnson story. Jasmine said they think we stupid. Forgot about.
And I feel like not only.
Go ahead, Shannon.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just reading comments in the chat.
I feel like not only do they think we're stupid, but I feel like they probably feel like we don't have the protections or we don't have people in higher places that can actually speak for us or speak up for us, because even like it's 2026 and a lot of times people are complacent. People are like, it's not my problem. Back to the community thing. It ain't my problem. It ain't my people. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want nothing to do with this. I don't want to bring more problems to my life.
Right.
It's the divide and conquer. Divide and conquer.
Forgot about Watch Black says Harrell Martin. Not really a city girl says good afternoon. I see y'all holding it down. We trying to do our thing, man. This extendo version. Forgot about Watch Black also said 1980s was a great Latin migration. Us 90s babies feel normal around Latins. However, there was a lot of segregation and tight-knit communities. Jasmine said they think we stupid. Y'all must be talking. Y'all. Wow, scared to speak. I'm not sure what that meant. Rules of engagement and all altercations. Should Camelo have gotten attacked, or should he felt fear instead of being stubborn? These are all interesting conversations. We're going to get deeper into it, y'all. Don't go anywhere. You are listening to Ray Nitty and maybe Shannon on the award-winning Truth 101.7 FM. I'm going to get it, Zach. Don't shake your head, Zach.
For 250 years, our armed forces have bravely served America. Wounded Warrior Project honors that legacy by supporting post 9/11 service members and veterans like Anthony, a Marine who was injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan.
They carried me through my injuries, my not just my physical, but my mental, and seeing other vets doing the same thing.
Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks
What up, y'all? What up, y'all? Welcome back to the lunch break with Ray Nitty and maybe Shannon on the award-winning 101.7 FM, The Truth.
Close
no?
enough.
He said, no, that wasn't it. Man, we got some breaking news, man.
101.7 The Truth. Breaking news.
We have some breaking news reported 12 minutes ago, was it, Zach?
Yeah, 15 from WISN. David Crowley drops out of Wisconsin governor race, calls for Democratic unity.
David Crowley drops out of the race and calls for Democratic unity for the governor race. There you have it. That is going to be extremely interesting. That was my candidate for the race. Yeah. We will be talking about this a little bit further, but I'd like to know what people's thoughts is on that. If you 833-212-1017. I know we're talking about some heavy stuff, but this is pretty heavy as well. County executive, the only person that was in the race that had experience in actually running city government and large municipalities, just dropped out the race, allegedly. So, yeah. We'll be talking about that a little bit more. More to come. We'll follow that situation. We will follow that situation as we continue the conversation. Right? Shannon? We want to know, what does transparency look like? Because we're talking about the Nolan Wells. We're talking about the Kendrick Johnson situation. The chat said, I think they think we won't set this off. They are killing our people left and right. Not really, a city girl says. Yeah, they definitely think we won't set it off. But yeah, like I said, man, young black athletes found dead. Officials move quickly toward accidental death. Families demand independent review. Kendrick's case is why families now call Ben Crump on day one when stuff like this happen. What does transparency look like to you, Shannon, in these type of situations? What could that look like?
Honestly, I feel like knowing who's who and what's what, right? Like, just first of all, it feels like people aren't being transparent when they lawyer up as soon as the boy is missing. I can tell you that. That feels like a lack of transparency. I feel like as soon as they probably found his body, and then as soon as they found the body, it looks like it was an accidental drowning. Like, how is that? Like, why are you gathering that from what's happened? You know what I mean? And why are you comfortable to say that out loud from what's happening? You know what I'm saying? So I think transparency should come from, give us what your reasoning is for that. Because he was found in the water?
Right.
Is that what you know what I'm saying? Like, it looks like he drowned to me. He was in the water.
And his
then they
phone
had
was on the
to
boat.
identify him, phone on the boat. An argument happened. Like, nothing really adds up. And then they had to identify him by his dental record. So how can you say it was a drowning? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? You would think there's a little more than like eyeballing a dead body, especially if it's to the point where you have to identify him by his teeth.
Insane.
So
I think we need to start seeing timely releases of autopsy and toxicology reports, right? And maybe a deadline, not just whenever they decide to put that out. You know, like they just give us the information when they think it's okay to put these informations out. All witness statements taken and preserved. You know, every person on that boat should be on the record early, not like, yo, now you got this lawyer and come on now.
After weeks of like, oh, now we're going to go back and ask. Of course, people's stories going to start to match up a little bit. They had time. Like I said, if it was black kids, they would have jumped off that boat and went straight to a cell somewhere to be interrogated. No time to figure it out. No time to talk to a lawyer, nothing.
At all.
You know what I'm saying?
At all. So it's like.
And I also feel like, I'm sorry, but I also feel like a lot of times, like, I feel like in the Kendrick Johnson case, a few things came up too, other than his father being like a sheriff or something like that. Like the family had links to the person that did the first autopsy report. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that, like,
right.
We need to know who's who and what's what. Like, why does it come out years later? Oh, well, the person that did this autopsy and the person that worked the case was the cousin of the mama. Why is that even allowed? Why is this stuff even happening? How is this happening?
Right. Not really a city girl says it's sharks on that island where Nolan was found, but there is a video of his fake friends taunting him. I'm assuming that was him. She was trying to say, making racist comments and clearly leaving him in the water. Then somebody says them suckers had to jump him, of course, and then drown him. They hated him. He was taking all they shine on the field. Man.
And people say jealous friends are dangerous.
Man.
And I think that even goes further than the race thing. But like when there's layers to it, you know what I'm saying? It's just more to watch out for.
Man.
Because a lot of people, even when they your friend, quote unquote, they not going to look out for you like they would people that look like them sometimes. And I think Black people are loyal to a fault because no matter what you look like, we gonna have your back if you are friends. That's just how we operate. We're extremely loyal people, and we gotta realize not everybody is built like that. Like I don't want nothing to do with that. That was my best friend, but shoot, I'm gonna stay out of this and I'm gonna clear my name and I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna lawyer up.
Right.
Even if they saw something and they wasn't exactly a part of it. They gonna choose themselves every time. A lot of people ain't gonna take the route of what's morally right
at all. No, they not. None of that. They go. You said it right. They gonna choose themselves every time, which is why even more so I preach. Like I think we give up on each other too fast when everybody, when every other person holds their, community to the most like they hold each other down. We got to call her. Let's go see what Ron is talking about. Ron, how you doing? You live on the lunch break with Ray Nitty and Shannon.
Thanks for taking my call, man. I had to call in for this because, like I told you, the operator there, I can't keep it in my head. I hate that America got us thinking like this. I hate the PTSD that we can't let our Black children hang out with a majority of white kids and they end up dead or end up missing. I just hate that we have this. We all need to see some therapy and free therapy because America has got us courage and function like this. And we have to think that this could have been an accidental drowning or, it was just some happenstance. We go to right, it was a majority of white boys, and it was, because that's the facts, and this is a young black kid, and he's the only one not coming back. man, I just hate that we have to think like this, but it's not our fault. we were taught that our kids ain't safe. Stop having your kids hang around with a lot of white kids, and you don't know the parents, and you don't know their friends. Man, that's all I'm saying.
Let me ask you this, Ron. Were we made to feel like this, or this is what history has shown us, that our black kids are not safer? Now, hear me out, Ron. Okay. You say America made us, we forced to think like this. Are we forced to think like this, or are we given the patterns that show us this? Why did those kids not stay on the scene? Why? History. Just see. Why they didn't stay on it? Why they got lawyers? Why they get lawyers right away, Ron? If it was just an accidental drowning. I'm just asking questions.
There you go. You triggered me. See, there you go. You right on point. They have shown us that there's a pattern with this type of stuff. So then we can't help but to think like that and go, well, why is it got to be about racism now? Because the history has a pattern of showing us, and no matter what city, no matter what state, if it's a lone black child and there's some Caucasian kids with them, that black child not coming back. They raises our antennas up like, what the hell's going on?
No, we're not saying all the time. We're not saying all the time, Ron.
Not all the time.
We're not saying all the time. But we know we have examples of where this is the case. And we're not saying that our kids should not be able to allow to play. We just saying, should we be more aware when we send our kids off in these situations? Because we know other communities is not going to care and look at our kids the same way that we do. Because we barely look at our kids how we should.
Right. And keep them safe while they're there. That's why I said, find out who the parents are, find out who their friends are. Because just because you know Todd and you know Robert, you don't know David and the other friends that they have that may not like you and may be jealous of why you hanging around with this guy.
Let me ask you another question, Ron. Let me ask you another question on this.
Yeah.
Why is it not being talked about the altercation that happened with Nolan and his friends? Why is that not?
And I just saw that too.
I just saw. And so these are the patterns that we talk about. Like why as friends you bring somebody to an island? We ain't talking about across the street. You bring somebody to an island by boat. And you leave your friend and say, oh, we assumed he was getting a different boat ride, but his phone is on your boat.
And you know what really got me upset was the news. I'm going to say this real quick and get off. The news said, and as you can see, he was holding some type of a hard seltzer drink or some type of alcoholic beverage. And I'm thinking to myself, what the heck does that got to do with this young black man missing? Now you want to put it out there that he's drunk or he was drunk, and everybody else had the same thing in their hand. He's underage. They were drinking. They should say, hey, we was all drinking. And that's what happened. But they're not doing that. They left. And he didn't come back. That's the bottom line. Thanks for taking my call.
That's all we talking about, Ron. Appreciate you calling in the truth. Appreciate you calling in. Don't go anywhere, y'all. We are live on the lunch break. We'll be back. This is Ray Nitty and Shannon. I ain't even going to try to say it. We'll be back, y'all.
Don't go anywhere. When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and
punish you. Hey.
Look at shit. Look, you see the part Shannon sing?
This 98, our grandma.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Live from the American Family Insurance Studios. It's your boy Ray Nitty and my co-host Maybe Shannon. We having a good time. We having a serious time. Talking about these things. We just had a real good call with Ron. How you feel that what Ron was talking about, Shannon?
It sounds like a person that understands the dangerousness of being the only person, but it sounds like he also was on the fence of like, well, why are we made to feel this way? Right. And I was enjoying the conversation that she was having with him, because it's like, I do understand where he was coming from with like, man, why we always got to feel this way? But it ain't our fault that we feel this way when history has shown us it is this way. Right. Unfortunately. And like I said, I'm one of those people. Like, I have very diverse friend groups, and sometimes I do end up being that only person, and that's when you have to be hyper vigilant and overly aware of who is actually an ally. And like, even in this situation, I've been dropped off on the side of TikTok where it's multiple white people that are coming forward. Like, as a white friend, if this person is the only black person, it's my job to make sure they're safe. It's my job to make sure I'm not bringing them around environments where if something happened, they are left stranded or alone or in an uncomfortable situation. And it doesn't look like every turn you got to be like, oh, this is my friend, don't talk to them like that. We don't need that. But what we do need you to know is that I'm black, and if something goes left, sometimes we are the target. A lot of times we are the target, like he pointed out in the news. Why are we pointing out what he was drinking? Because just in case they want to say it was self-defense and he was drunk and angry and aggressive, they already set the stage for it. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of times it don't take much for the black person to look like the aggressor other than being black. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so if a fight did happen in that water, when you notice a lot of times that they always look at you as the aggressor, even if it's 1 versus 100. Well, he must have did something. What did he say? What did he do? You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing when you
mob of whites surrounding him.
No, but it's always like everybody mind going to what did the black man do? He's the aggressor. And like you said, how could we even believe that they look at our children as children, or that they could be innocent, or that they could be not the aggressor when we barely do it? Right? So you go into these environments and you think that your child is protected because you know Tom and Kelsey or whatever, but that's not true, because at the end of the day, a lot of them, they have family members that still hold these racist beliefs. Well, Ruby Bridges ain't nothing but 60, 70. She hit that school porch drenched in spit. Grown people. So who you think raised these little terrorists?
Yeah.
Hello? Like, what are we talking about here? But they want you to believe that racism is gone, it's dead, that it's not a thing anymore. You think people with that deep rooted of hate just woke up and said, we ain't gonna do that no more. Oopsie, we made a mistake. When the mistakes have not even been acknowledged. That's more dangerous than outwardly racist to me. Somebody that's like, I can't stand black people, I don't want to be around them people. That's just fine with me, because I know where not to be. But the people that I don't see color, racism isn't happening. Those are the dangerous ones, because you're going to be like, yo, this happened to me. They're like, you making it up. Black people always want to be the victims. They're going to gaslight you and put you in those dangerous situations and act like they don't exist.
Like that ain't our reality. Every day we wake up. Every day, like, they don't realize the anxiety that black people go through just from, and I ain't saying that other people don't got anxieties, but
yeah,
a police officer could just be driving past you. And this is not to pick on police officers, but it's an anxiety that black people go through when they see a police vehicle. Even the lights don't even got to be on, fam. You just see them, and it's something you feel in you, like, man, I hope they don't. What do we say when we see a police car? You on the high? I hope they don't get behind me. You don't even got to be on nothing. But it's just a natural anxiety that we have. I don't even know the word. Developed because of the climate that we have been made to live in. So yeah, I don't want us to feel like, damn, we gotta be on alert every time our kids are the only minority in the group. But I'm sorry for believing what society has shown me, that typically, and I ain't saying every time, but a lot of oftentimes, the one minority, the token, is easily made the black sheep, the scapegoat, the problem of whatever incident that may have happened, the cover story for whatever their actions was.
And let me leave you at this. We might not can read, but we can recognize a pattern.
You feel me? Man, it was another great show today, Shannon. Don't forget, Shannon, I ain't gonna be here tomorrow. I'm not gonna be here tomorrow.
What you mean? Don't forget. Who gonna be here?
What?
I'm not gonna be here tomorrow. My 9 to 9 gonna be filling in for me. I'm going to New York. I'll be in New York for the Blueprint. Blueprint, man. If you don't know, this is Giannis's mom's song. It's a beautiful song, man. I think it's a great song for us to close out with. Hey, tomorrow, Shannon, y'all should go in deeper and finish that conversation about, should we dictate our kids' friendships? I know we wanted to get into that, but conversation was so good today, Shannon. Shannon, you still there?
I'm hanging on, Ray. I'm hanging on.
Hang on a little bit longer and tell the people where they can find us before we get up out of here.
Man, make sure y'all follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all at Ray Nitty. Can be found at Ray Nitty, RayNitti, and I can be found at Maybe Shannon, MaybesShannon_, Maybe Shannon across all platforms. And make sure you go follow the Lunch Break on Facebook. We have surpassed 500 followers. Join the conversation. Tell us about y'all day. Tell us what y'all want to hear. And make sure y'all call in to the next show. Make sure y'all tap in with Manon. Hang in there. We going strong, man.
We going
on the Truth
strong.
101.7 FM.
Shannon, I appreciate you as always, man. Callers, everybody listening, thank you for tuning in to the extended lunch break on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Don't go anywhere. Manon is up next. Pick some grapes, y'all.